Hello once again, everyone. Hopefully this is the last day of this severe weather episode. I'm John Fawcett, Warning Coordination Meteorologist for the National Weather Service Office serving southern New Mexico and far west Texas. And senior forecaster Greg Lundeen, many thanks to him for preparing the graphics for this presentation. The potential weather impacts have really remained unchanged since yesterday. For today and tonight, many of those thunderstorms in the area will reach severe limits, producing large damaging hail and strong damaging winds. And as the day progresses, the focus will shift a little further to the east, and then by the time you get to Thursday, yes, you'll have a chance of thunderstorms, mainly to the east, but the severe potential should not be existing on Thursday. And isolated areas of heavy rain could cause some flooding, especially where you have accumulation of small hail that plugs up the drains and doesn't take as much rain as you'd expect to produce flooding. And that focus will be mainly east of the Rio Grande. The potential impacts, we've already talked about in previous days how heavy rain mixed with small hail gives you hazardous driving conditions. Well, if you get accumulation of hail on the roadways, extremely slick. Larger hail, of course, that'll be structural damage, and your winds exceeding 60 miles per hour is going to also cause structural damage and blow down trees and power lines. And then finally, your heavy rains, you have that street flooding issue. And outdoor events, again, they're at risk anyway when you have cloud-to-ground lightning from a normal thunderstorm. Add to that large hail and damaging winds, and it's just not a good idea today. The thunderstorm risk categories, as with yesterday, we focus on the left half, and especially the yellow color, number 2. We're under a slight risk. Scattered severe thunderstorms are possible. They've already been occurring. Damaging winds, large hail, and even the possibility of a tornado or two, though that is not likely. Here is the area with the yellow. It has shifted a little further east from yesterday, but still covering most of our area. And the other marginal area, the darker green, is still a risk of a severe thunderstorm, just not as likely as under the yellow slight area. And by the time you get to tomorrow, the marginal risk is well off to our east. We just have maybe a chance of thunderstorms, but the severe potential is pretty much gone. The upper low moving into southern Arizona is still our troublemaker. A little closer today, but we're under that favorable area to its east, where you have rising motion, wind shear, moisture convergence. Yeah, it all means severe thunderstorms are quite possible today at noon through this evening, although the focus will be shifting a little further to the east as time goes on. And by the time you get to early Thursday, the severe potential should be well off to the east and not in our area, but you still have a chance for thunderstorms. Drier air moving in from the west should penetrate the entire area by early Thursday evening. The Weather Prediction Center is focusing on West Texas well to our east, like the Panhandle, and then into North Texas for the very heavy rainfall. But substantial rain could be occurring on the eastern edges of our area, the Sacramento Mountains, down the mountain chain, the Guadalupe Mountains, Davis Mountains. And it doesn't take a lot, though, with hail accumulation to produce flooding, so we're still looking at that possibility, even though the excessive rainfall will be well off to the east. The uncertainties, admittedly, with this weather scenario, there haven't been many uncertainties because it's been kind of a textbook severe weather situation where the storms seem to follow the rules. But the exact focus for severe thunderstorm development is still uncertain, though we think it's going to be shifting further east as you get into the evening. And also the heavy rainfall and flooding, most of that's going to depend on hail accumulation or where you have a slow-moving storm, which is unlikely today. So there is an uncertainty there as well. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 8 p.m. east of the Continental Divide, which is 2/3 of our area. Just the far western portion is not under the watch. We've already been issuing severe thunderstorm warnings. We were doing that overnight when you wouldn't expect it. Flash flood warnings, not yet, but it is possible, and even that remote chance of a tornado or two, because these thunderstorms do have the characteristics that could lead to a tornado, but that's not really one of the main impacts we're looking at. Scattered severe thunderstorms with large damaging hail, strong damaging winds, again shifting further to the east as the day progresses. And by tomorrow, thunderstorms, yes, in the eastern half, but not necessarily severe. And there, again, the slight risk of flash flooding, which is probably limited to east of the Rio Grande by the time you get to Thursday. If you see a storm like this, run for cover. This is a supercell thunderstorm. This was west of Santa Teresa at noon today. Large hail and damaging winds are quite likely from a storm like this. Thank you for listening. Again, monitor the latest information by going to our webpage at weather.gov/El Paso. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Be safe, and you don't have to be outdoors, really. Go inside, and again, thank you for your time.